A security ultimatum has been issued in parts of Ogbomoso South local government area of Oyo State, and it has placed the spotlight once again on the fragile relationship between rural communities, herders, and local security concerns. Leaders and residents of 8 communities in the area have given a group of recently settled herdsmen 48 hours to leave, citing what they describe as security threats, alleged nuisance, and growing fears following recent kidnapping incidents in the wider Ogbomoso geopolitical zone. The communities involved are located around the Somade area and include Ibapon Are, Oluwamodupe, Ayedere, Mercyland Estates, Irowolode, Ona Ibala, Ifosowopo, and Graceland. According to reports, the ultimatum was issued at a meeting held on Monday, August 10, and attended by community leaders, representative of the Fulani community, and the Ogbomoso Paparapo leadership.
Ó sojú tiẹ̀ náà tá a fi ń sọ gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ yìí òun náà ti gbọ́ sí pé 48 hours péré la fún ọ níbí.
Èyí tí ó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ẹ̀sẹ̀ ẹ̀lẹ̀ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú ìwádìí tí wọ́n ṣe àwọn ọmọ inú àwọn ọmọ tí wọ́n jọ ń gbé láàrin ìlú tí wọn ò níṣẹ́ wọ́n fẹ́ máa gbé wọ́n mú nínú àwọn tí ń bá yín dáná tí wọ́n jọ máa ṣe meeting tá àmọ́ tí wọ́n lè ṣe ní tí wọ́n ṣẹlẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ àbẹ̀kọ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ níbí.
The decision has now raised important questions about security, lawful residency, and the danger of collective suspicion in communities already worried about criminal activity. The residents said their concerns are not simply about ethnicity or the presence of Fulani people in their communities. In fact, one of the traditional leaders specifically acknowledged that established Fulani residents have lived peacefully in the area for years. The concern, according to the community leaders, is about a group of unfamiliar herders who recently arrived and whose presence they believe has created additional security and environmental problems. That distinction is important because the allegation made by the residents concerns specific individuals and circumstances, not an entire ethnic group. Traditional ruler Ashifat Akanji, who reportedly issued the ultimatum on behalf of the communities, said the unfamiliar herders should leave within 48 hours. He explained that the communities had recently held a security meeting with the Commissioner of Police, where they were advised to remain vigilant about unfamiliar people in their midst. According to him, the communities do not want to create conflict and intend to operate within the law, but they also do not want to wait until a serious crime occurs before raising concerns about a security situation they consider suspicious. The fears comes against a backdrop of reported kidnapping incidents in parts of the wider area. One reported case occurred in Oloka village, where another major incident involved the reported adoption of 39 students and 7 teachers in communities within Oriri local government area. These incidents have understandably heightened anxiety among residents, particularly in rural communities where security resources can be limited and where unfamiliar movements may quickly become a source of concern. But security fears are only one part of the residents' complaints. Chairman of the 8 affected communities, Alabwe Oyebamiji, alleged that the cattle belonging to the herders had been destroying farms, damaging sockaway systems, and creating sanitation problems along roads. He also alleged that livestock waste had created unpleasant conditions and could contribute to accidents or the spread of disease. According to him, law enforcement agents had previously intervened and driven the herders away, but the group later returned, prompting community leaders to escalate the matter. There is, however, a crucial issue that authorities must address before this situation develops into something more dangerous. A community's concern about security is legitimate, but suspicion alone cannot establish criminal responsibility. The presence of herders in an area does not prove that they are involved in kidnapping or other crimes. If specific individuals are suspected of criminal activity, those allegations should be investigated by the police and other appropriate security agencies, with evidence determining responsibilities rather than ethnicity, occupation, or appearance. The community leaders themselves appear to have recognized the importance of involving established authorities. Ogbomoso Paropo chairman, Prince Aderemi Olude, said the leadership became involved after hearing complaints that the herders had allegedly constituted a nuisance and security concern. He explained that the herders reportedly claimed they had received permission from the Bale of Ibapon to occupy the location. However, according to Olude, the traditional ruler denied granting such permission, while the herders subsequently referred to the local Seriki Fulani, Idowu, who also reportedly denied authorizing their sentiments. That disagreement over who authorized the group's presence appears to have become one of the reasons the broader meeting was convened. Rather than allowing the dispute to continue without resolution, community leaders brought together different parties, including the local Fulani leadership. Following the meeting, the 48-hour ultimatum was issued. Olude said that after the deadline, any further action will be taken according to the law, stressing that security agencies have repeatedly encouraged communities to report suspicious situations rather than remain silent. That approach will now be tested. The challenge for Oyo State authorities is to prevent a local security dispute from becoming an ethnic confrontation. Nigeria has seen too many instances where disputes involving land, farming, cattle migration, or criminal allegations quickly acquire ethnic dimensions. Once that happens, innocent residents can become targets, legitimate security concerns can be overshadowed, and communities can become trapped in cycles of retaliation. The situation also demonstrates why effective policing remains essential in rural communities. Residents should not have to decide for themselves who is dangerous and who is innocent. Security agencies should be able to investigate complaints, verify identities, establish whether individuals have lawful reason for being in a community, and respond to credible threats before violence occurs. At the same time, community leaders have a responsibility to ensure that their actions remain within the law and do not expose innocent people to collective punishments. For the herders involved, the message from the affected communities is unmistakable. Leave within 48 hours or face further action under the law. For the residents, the demand is being presented as a preventive security measure rather than an attempt to target an entire ethnic community. And for the authorities, this is a warning that local tensions are already high enough to require careful intervention. What happens after the 48-hour deadline could determine whether this remains a contained community dispute or develop into a much larger security problem. The safest outcome is not confrontation, but lawful investigation, dialogue, and credible security intervention. In Ogbomoso, residents are demanding protection before another tragedy occurs. The responsibility now falls on the authorities to ensure that those concerns are investigated seriously, while also protecting the rights and safety of every law-abiding resident, regardless of ethnicity or occupation. If you want more breaking Nigerian news and security reports, subscribe to the channel and stay with us for the latest developments. I'm Chidera Isum. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next reports.